Yeah, so Stuttering Josh over there brings it up of some
I'm just
very,
trying to get away from your terrible joke, man. That was rough. That was
I'll
real
be
rough.
honest, some very concerning news coming
Yeah.
out of Netflix's corner that, like Josh said, starting in 2022, Netflix is going to offer gaming, but there's a whole heck of a lot of asterisks that we have to attach to this that I feel like Netflix is wanting everyone to overlook here. So guys, buckle up because just like PBS, you're going to have to read between the lines and see why this is so alarming. First of all, Netflix just comes out like Vince McMahon and just goes, "We're the good guys. We're going to include, starting next year, we're going to include gaming for no additional price, for no additional add-on price." I'm going, but you didn't say anything about not having a price hike. So
Hmm.
are you going to increase your prices to match this? But also, everyone's going, yeah, gaming on Netflix, cool. And Netflix came out today on the day that we're recording this on Tuesday, and they're just like, yeah, our primary focus out of the gate will be mobile gaming. Insert facepalm gif now. Oh my god. As if that's not bad enough. The man overseeing this is a former executive from, say it with me, EA. Yay. Now, for all of you non-gamers out there, EA is often cited as the worst video game company in America due to some very sketchy business practices and more or less legalized gambling, so to speak, with several of their games, most notably Star Wars Battlefront 2, basically
Hmm.
going to court for how sketchy of a business plan that game initially was. It ended up being one of my favorite Star Wars games over time after they drastically overhauled the entire game. But, oh boy, there's so many warning flags here. Not to mention when they're just like, yeah, it'll be added on for no additional cost. My brain immediately went, no additional cost for which plan? Because Netflix
Hmm.
has been very vocal about we have 3 different payment plans. You can have the top of the line, like $20 a month, all 4K content, this, that, or the other thing. You've got your medium, which is what I have. There's the HD plan, whatever else, and there's one below that. Are you going to have video games for all of these tiers or just the top one? You're not telling us. Mobile gaming. I know people watch Netflix on their phone, but to me, at least, I don't know why, but when I hear Netflix, I think of that as a TV medium. Like YouTube, that could be either TV, but mainly mobile devices. Netflix, that's a TV thing. Who's playing mobile games on their TV? Yes, let's play Jetpack Joyride on our TV. That's actually not a bad idea. But like, yes, let's play Temple Run on our big 55-inch TV. Like, come on, really?
I mean,
This is the best you got. However, there is an
that's
alternative that I've considered here, and some other people have considered. But we'll get back to that after we hear Josh's thoughts on this. Because
yeah, I'm down. I mean,
really,
I kind of, I don't know. I, it depends on, and there's a big asterisk here for me, if they're creating their own video games for this or if they're
bingo.
licensing others.
Yeah, licensing immediately crosses my mind. I'm going, that's a logistic nightmare. How are you going to do this?
Yeah, because here's the thing. It's one thing to allow us to play, I don't know, Legends of Runeterra on the TV or like on my game through Netflix. Oh, that's so cool. Um, but it's another for you to only make your own content because movies are not the same. Like you guys know this, right? Games are not the same. They're harder than movies and TV shows. Like you know this, right?
And they barely make movies.
I just
So
this feels like this could go wrong in so many ways, especially with what their purchasing practices are right now.
3 words. There's some leaps in logic here, but believe it, actually, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this because we haven't done this in a while.
Okay. Oh, 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 hey!
It
Tinfoil hat time.
it returns. It returns because 3 words. Xbox Game Pass. For months and months, PlayStation players have complained of, okay, Xbox Game Pass gets all these free games each month included, and they just get to play that whenever. There are some rumors circulating that Netflix wants to team up with PlayStation, because PlayStation has been on the back foot for quite a long time. Josh and I both have PlayStation Plus. We both have PlayStations to some extent, and you need that to play online. You get what? 3 games a month if you're lucky. 4 if you got PS5, PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Whereas PlayStation Now is a completely separate service that you can play like PlayStation 3 games or whatever else, but that's already included in Xbox Game Pass. PlayStation has been on the back foot for so long, and the head of Sony has said, oh yeah, we've got something we'll announce at some point. We're working on something that will rival and be better than Xbox Game Pass. What if it's this Netflix thing? What if Netflix is going, we need a partner here? Because tell me Netflix hasn't been partnering with people lately. They haven't bought anybody, but they've been partnering with people. Like Sony for that first theatrical window. When movies come out of theaters, they'll go to Netflix first. I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix in the next month or so strikes up a deal with Sony saying Sony exclusives can now be played on Netflix. Tell me things like God of War, Uncharted. If you got PlayStation, PS5, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Destruction All-Stars. Spider-Man is available on Netflix. I think that's an interesting route to go then. And then, I don't know how you'd split the profits there, but that would immediately be an interesting rival for Xbox Game Pass. Now, this, of course, is where we bring in the tinfoil hat theory, so it might be completely out of left field. But PlayStation has said for a little bit that they are aware of the Game Pass complaints, that people are just like, we want to be able to play all these old games and not have to pay so much extra each month and have all these confusing things. It's like HBO with HBO Now, HBO Max, HBO Go. You've got to cut all those out and streamline things. And that's what PlayStation needs to do. If they funnel everything to Netflix, PlayStation already has this big back catalog that could fall right in the lap of Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, I really only see that as them transferring PS Now to Netflix, which is not. That sounds super negative, but like, it's the catalog of PS Now is huge, so I don't see that as
just for a first-hand experience. Do you have PlayStation Now?
I did at one point. And it's cool, don't get me wrong, but I can't tell you. I used it more for like, hey, this new game's coming out in this series. I have PlayStation Now, so I'll just go replay all of the ones, or not replay, or play the ones I haven't played before. It's a cool feature. I just feel like it has a very, very specific like answer to a very specific need.
Yeah, it's very specific of, do you want to play a PlayStation 3 game? Then get PlayStation Now. If you don't, then don't. Because I think it's very confusing. I've said for a while, PlayStation Now just needs to merge with PlayStation Plus. If you're playing online with all these, what money do you lose revenue-wise for like PlayStation 3 games or whatever else? And just like Netflix, drop new titles every month that just get added to the package. Like, just seems obvious. And again, Netflix already has this working relationship with Sony. I just said it. So they're like, well, if the movie thing works well for us, why not pair with Sony again for video games? To me, the more I think about it, the more this makes sense. But yeah, for the time being, they're probably going with mobile, which is a dumb idea, and it's just a greedy idea. Last, before we move on to our discussion, we probably should open with this. Does this scream of desperation to anybody else or just me? This just feels desperate on Netflix's part.
See, you and we've been talking about Netflix for, what month are we in? July? We've been talking about Netflix for like 7 months. Because in these 7 months, they've made some big money moves that I don't think they have actual money to back up. I don't know if desperation is the word, but digging a hole seems to be the phrase. I worry, and you know what? Maybe I'll eat my words. I'm going to rethink this real quick because the big thing that killed Blockbuster was its unwillingness to try new things and change and keep with the times. And to Netflix's credit, they have done that to the best of their ability. And so maybe a lot of these deals the past 7 months, while they do reek a little bit of desperation, maybe it is them trying to stay with the times, trying not to be left behind in the streaming wars, and trying to still stay relevant after, geez, all these years.
And you brought up a good thing with Blockbuster of y'all remember in that Blockbuster documentary, Blockbuster had a chance to buy Netflix. So maybe it's just like if you can't beat them, join them. If Netflix feels like they might be losing potential revenue or viewers to video games, join video games. And Sony's been in the business for a long time. I'm still going to be on this for a little bit. I think a Netflix Sony video game partnership is on the horizon sooner rather than later. But I'd be curious to see what you guys at home think. I think this is a very interesting development for the future of streaming wars if this goes ahead successfully. As they say, Moneyball, the first guy through the wall is always bloody. It's just a matter of were those injuries worth it or not in the long term.
Truth.